And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kpush podcast, episode 184. We apologize for the big delay here. I've been messing up the fucking uploading schedule, I will say. I was supposed to upload a solo episode of mine while I was in Boston, and I ended up uploading the video, but I didn't end up publishing the video. And then I uploaded the Myco podcast that we recorded. Go check that out, please. It was a very, very fun time I had with my boy Myco. So I think that you should go watch that one. That one was good. Not this one. Turn this one off. This one's not. This one's gonna be this one's gonna be a bad one. I messed up the schedule, and then I uploaded the MycoPod over it, so I had to delete the MycoPod, then I had to re-upload the MycoPod, and then I just came back from fucking Massachusetts, so I was still getting my shit together, and I just didn't have time to upload it on this Wednesday. So this week, it looks like I uploaded 3 different podcasts. I just missed 2 episodes. This one's just a little late. And I had to refix the order of the podcast. So that's why that it looks like it's retarded. It looks like some retard just uploaded 3 podcasts in the span of 1 week, in the span of actually 3 days, in the span of 3 days. Not helping it is we're going to be right back to our normal schedule on Wednesday. So you'll be getting another solo episode on Wednesday, which is, three solo episodes in the past 4 podcast episodes. It's not a good track record when I'm talking. You don't want me talking too long. You get me maybe twice a month. That's good. That's like 50%. You don't even want that though. You just want one. Just one. Just one 40-minute episode of me rambling once a month is enough for the internet. Okay? I've talked enough into a vacuum that I don't need to just keep on talking. I know when Howard Stern said that if you have a podcast, you're basically just talking out to the window, but and I know he's wrong. I know he's wrong when he said that, but for me that's pretty accurate. I basically might as well just open up the window. Just start yelling about Iran. Just So we're doing, since I have to have 2, I'm still trying to do that 45-minute. It's still crazy to me. Like, it's like nuts when I see like a podcast have an episode under 45 minutes long. What is wrong? What is wrong with you? And then they'll have an intro and fucking words. My brain just is not working right now. They have their sponsors. They'll have like 10-minute sponsors, right? These fucking idiots. Danny Brown. Dude, it's like crazy. It's so nuts. So they'll have an intro song, right? That's like, I don't know, a minute, 30 seconds, whatever the fuck it is. They'll have that, and then they'll have like 10 minutes worth of their sponsor advertisements. That's like 15 minutes off the block. And then if you include the fucking YouTube ads, we're talking about you're going to play a podcast. And it's going to be an hour. And you're going to get 30 minutes of a conversation. Yeah, that's like a quick talk. That's like just small talk. When you talk to somebody for 30 minutes, you're barely talking to them. Like, you just sat down and now you're getting ready to go. I was listening to the Danny Brown, Kurt Metzger episode. The video's 41 minutes long. What? What? Also, between Kurt Metzger and Danny Brown, like 2 arguably of the most interesting people on the planet, and 41 minutes. Why? Like, what is Danny Brown doing? He's sober. He's not even doing drugs. What could you possibly be doing? That, and also, you have to think about this. Like, you drive there, you sit down, you plan this out for probably weeks, and then you talk for what? 25 minutes? Go to dinner. We don't want to see this. We don't want to go to dinner. People can run longer than you can talk. What are you doing? What are you... People like psychos like me, the popular ones, unpopular ones, it doesn't matter. But like psychos like me, Bill Burr, fucking Tim Dillon, Giannis Pappas, these people with solo podcasts. And I'm sure there's a lot of people like me just rambling into a fucking microphone and nobody's listening. So you just have psychos like me who can go for 45 minutes, an hour. I've done I think an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 40 minutes before, just me talking. And you got one of the most interesting guests ever. And a great conversation, but still a great conversation in 40 minutes. Still pretty good. Not as good. But you can only go for 40 minutes? Really? You can't even do that extra 5? There's just something nice about 45 minutes, you know? You can do anything for 40. You can do literally anything for 45 minutes, by the way. You can do literally anything for 45. It's doable. It's a doable amount of time. There are people who run for 45 minutes. There are people who masturbate for 45 minutes. There are people who literally will shit for 45 minutes long. There's a lot of things you can do for 45. It's not that difficult. But you can't talk. You can't talk. And also, by the way, with a podcast, right? You're declaring. You're declaring that this conversation is so good that it needs to be shared. That's kind of what you're doing. That's the fucking mental illness that comes with having a podcast. Is that right there? Is this idea that you're declaring. You're announcing to the whole vast of the internet, hey, you know what? This is good enough. You should listen, right? That's kind of the fucking ego you have to have, the fucking selfishness, the fucking mental illness that comes with that is insanity. And if you're gonna have that insanity, you might as well make an episode 45 minutes, cuz it is what it is. It is what, especially if you got fucking 10, 15 minutes of sponsors. What are we doing here? What are we doing? By the way, I mean, listening to podcasts on YouTube is just impossible now. It's fucking terrible. I mean, it's the worst. Because the thing is with podcasts is that it's inherently terrible. To some degree, it's inherently, quite possibly, the worst thing that humans have done. Is this thing that we do every day, which is talk. This idea that you would sit down and you would talk about ideas, you would talk about politics, art, whatever. And that now you're going to take this thing that's kind of special and you're going to record it. You're going to try and capture it now. And not only that, you're going to declare it so that everybody can see it. That's what it is. And so if you are going to consume a podcast, right? And by the way, this isn't everybody's podcast. Some podcasts are well-researched and, they're smart individuals. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people who just grab a microphone and start riffing. Like this. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's fun. Yes, maybe you should do it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like AI is going to take this job. They're going to take everybody else's. So I don't know. But you can't watch 30 minutes of advertisements on an hour episode. Like it's just not going to work. You know? Like people are going to start to just say I'm done. You skip them. You skip the ads. Shut up. Nobody wants to skip the ads, by the way. This like thing, because the whole point of a podcast is like you walk away. It's not a movie. It's not, a TV show where like you have to sit and you have to like give it your full attention. It's not what like a podcast, like it's supposed to be in the background. You're supposed to like masturbate. You're supposed to like, discipline your slave in the basement. That's like sort of what you're supposed to be doing. Making dinner, cooking. Yeah, slitting a homeless person's wrists. Like these are the things that you're kind of supposed to be doing while, you're not really supposed to just like hover over a podcast. This is not really what you're supposed to be doing. The only time you're really supposed to watch a podcast is if you're like doing the dishes. Like you're doing the dishes, or like you're doing something where you're just stationary and you occasionally glance. That's like what it's supposed to be. And so this theory that has kind of been put into place where you're going to have an hour podcast and then 15 minutes of that podcast is going to be sponsorships. Okay, whatever. But then YouTube is like doing this thing. It's like doing this like really shady shit that doesn't make any sense. So number one, they'll just give you like a 10-minute advertisement. They'll give you an infomercial. I mean, they'll give you a commercial where you go, hey, you didn't have to walk through my entire life with this product, right? Like, I didn't need, and they'll be selling like this bullshit AI, whatever. They'll be like, no, this pussy dildo follows you around. This pussy dildo follows you around. You don't believe it? You don't believe me that this pussy dildo follows you around? What are you, crazy? Let me talk to you about this pussy dildo for 10 minutes. And it's like, hey, what? Like, hey, what? I'm kidding. They don't do like pussy dildos. But I do keep getting this advertisement. And there's a bunch like these. But a real one is like, there's this fucking AI where it's, this is your AI lawyer. This is your AI lawyer. If you are in a car crash, you just need to talk to this AI. And it's gonna put you places. It's gonna get you money. But they're trying to shut it down. They're actually trying to shut this AI down. And so you got to do it quick. And it's almost like a movie trick, like they're telling you a story. They're like, but the AI is fighting back. It's fighting back against the insurance companies. The insurance companies are trying to take down the AI. But the AI summoned Luke Skywalker. What? Wait, what? You're going, whoa, wait. I thought this was a commercial for the AI. The AI has summoned the Avatar. Wait, what? But then the insurance company it summoned Voldemort. And now Luke Skywalker and Voldemort are actually going to decide if this AI can stick around or not. Wait, what? I'm confused. By the way, why is this 18 minutes? Is this an advertisement or is this a story? I'm confused. I'm confused. But YouTube is yeah, but there's this skip button. So if you decide 5 minutes in that you don't like the advertisement, you can skip it to go back to listen to Mark Norman talk about sucking ballsack. And it's like, guys, we cannot have 3 hours of advertisements on an hour podcast. It's not, people aren't going to do this. They're not going to do that. They're not, And then they do that other shady shit where they'll give you 2 advertisements, but they won't tell you it's 2 advertisements. They won't announce it. So you'll listen to the one advertisement and you'll be like, okay, that's done. But then there's another advertisement. So then you go over to your phone and you try and skip it, but then they have a certain amount of time limit to watch that ad. They'll give you an ad, right? They'll give you 2 ads. And if you watch a certain amount of time on the first ad, they'll let you skip the ads altogether. But if you watch the first ad, then you also have to watch the second advertisement. And you go, that doesn't make any sense at all. Why would I be able to skip both advertisements if I can get to my phone fast enough on the first advertisement? That doesn't make any sense. People are not going to listen to Call Her Daddy through 18 hours of advertisements, but you can skip them. It's ridiculous. It's insane. And this is the big problem with YouTube, by the way. This is the big problem is everybody's YouTube's not paying us enough money. So we need these sponsors. And I need to read them. But it's well, then why is YouTube have what is the YouTube advertising for if they're not paying the creators? What's going on here? This is the first time where you'll have 2 different types of advertisements in one thing. You didn't have that on TV. It wasn't if you were watching Breaking Bad, right? Walter White didn't stop all of a sudden and was just you should buy this AI. You need to get this AI. You need to support this AI so that Luke Skywalker can fight the insurance company. It wasn't like that, and then they would also cut to commercials, right? It wasn't like that. Now you'll have the people running the show giving you advertisements, and then the platform also gives you another additional advertisements. And you go, wait, what? My God, this is somebody talking. You understand? This is somebody in their basement or garage talking. They don't deserve 40 hours of advertisements. This is kind of crazy. But whatever. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. We haven't even got into it. Either way, my prediction with that is these other websites like Rumble or X or YouTube's going to start to fall. It just has to with these advertisements. Or certainly, maybe not everything on YouTube will fall, but certainly people watching podcasts on YouTube. That's going to take a serious toll with all these ads. Because people just are going to be like, fuck it. This is gay. I can't do this. I can't listen to fucking, Bumble, or the fucking new fucking food truck in town that got YouTube to throw an advertisement up. There's a big, fucking hip-hop bass, trap bass. That's what it's called, right? Trap bass. All that, like a Travis Scott, right? That's what trap beats. That's what it is. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? Either way, can we talk about the news? It's a big news. By the way, if I don't get to something here, I will get to it on Wednesday. So bear in mind, I got a full list here, and I want to break it up into 2 episodes. So P. Diddy's free. He's out. He's out. He got acquitted. He's done. He was found guilty of traveling for prostitution, I believe. I believe that's what it is. Here, why don't we look it up exactly so that I'm not talking out of my ass here. But the thing is it's interesting because they're going to kill him, right? Like, no way he just, the CIA just, lets him walk, because this is, by the way, I know people are still like, what do you mean? What do you mean P. Diddy's anything like Jeffrey Epstein? What do you mean? What do you mean? Just because it's a very similar case and a very similar story of one guy kind of running this, sex cult. Almost, kind of. And, sort of seems like he's recording and blackmailing people. Even though that we don't know who they're blackmailing. They'll never tell you that. No. They'll never tell you exactly what they're blackmailing for either. No. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Hold on. Just can I'm gonna read this article here, by the way. Just this is Independent Premium, and I don't know what retard wrote this. I literally don't know what retard wrote this. But let me read this to you, by the way. The Diddy verdict proves Me Too is dead and people don't understand consent. What? This is a real thing that somebody wrote. It's like a real who wrote this, by the way? I need a name, because this is ridiculous. Lewis Thomas was the editor? Well, she's retarded. Here's the thing. Here's what this P. Diddy verdict proves. It doesn't prove that people don't understand consent. It proves that the CIA is still running shit, baby. That's what it fucking you think the CIA is sleeping? No. No, they're doing rape fucking cults. They're blackmailing politicians and celebrities. This is what this P. Diddy thing was. And, when you get caught slacking, when some of these people that you've abused or have helped abused other people, they start yapping, the CIA comes out and they're like, hey, this guy, knows things. We can't lock him up. We can't, lock him up. But they're going to try this, by the way. They're going to try this. This is the angle they're going to do. They're going to, try to go back. We need to go back. We need to go back to revisit Louis C.K. Remember when Louis C.K. consensually masturbated in front of girls, we need to like cancel him and ruin his career again. We need to like do that, which does like nothing. By the way, like that won't solve P Diddy raping people and blackmailing politicians, nor will it with the Jeffrey Epstein case. By the way, because that's the CIA. I mean, are you kidding me? People don't understand consent. That's what this P. Diddy thing proves. It proves that people don't understand consent. And Me Too is dead. That's what it means. That's what it... No, silly. It means that the world revolves around things like the FBI and the CIA and these people like P. Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein run shit. It's what it means. Wait, you thought P. Diddy was going to be locked up? Get the fuck out of here, man. Again, and I've seen this too, this thing. P. Diddy, the P. Diddy verdict. It proves that rich people can get away with anything. No, stupid. Yes, it's true that rich people get away with a lot of crimes that lower income people don't get away with. Yes, that fact is true. That has nothing to do with P. Diddy. By the way, that has nothing to do with P. Diddy. Literally nothing to do with P. That's not even remotely the same as what's going on. You think if Joe Rogan, okay? You think if Joe Rogan was, having Tim Dillon be locked in a fucking cage at the comedy mothership and just be slapped on for hours, and he was doing that to Tim Dillon and Tony Hinchcliffe and Tom Segura and Christina Przinski, and they all came out and they were like, Joe Rogan raped us. He just got us with his fucking karate moves and just absolutely raped all of us. Like, you think they let Joe Rogan off? No, I'm sorry. I'm confused. No, like I'm sorry. I'm confused. No. Do you think that like if Joe Rogan ran like a pedophile ring at the comedy mothership, where he was just raping kids, or whatever he was doing, fucking putting the nipple clamps on fucking Tim Dillon. Or Brian Simpson. Brian Simpson just has his balls hanging from the ceiling. You think if that stuff was happening, like Joe Rogan wouldn't be prosecuted? Is that like what you think? This has nothing to do with money. This is nothing. Repeat it again after me. This has nothing to do with money. Okay? Do you want to know why I know that? Do you want to know why I know that this P. Diddy verdict has literally nothing to do with money? By the way, here, let me bring this this web article up so you can appreciate the atrocity for yourself. Here's the thing. Here's how I know that this P. Diddy thing has literally nothing to do with money. Let me tell you, okay? It's because the victims were also rich. Repeat it with me. Repeat it again after me. The people P. Diddy attacked, raped, blackmailed were also rich, famous, and successful. Say it again. Say it again. One more time. The people P. Diddy blackmailed, raped, beat, manipulated, whatever, were also rich and famous. Okay? The difference is those people he beat and abused and manipulated weren't working for the CIA. That's the difference here. This trial is an outcome, and I don't, yeah, are you sure it's the CIA? No. Okay, you got me. It may not be the CIA. It could be the FBI. It could be any of these 3-letter agencies that exist in the government that have almost no limitations of their power or what they can do. Remember when they shot Trump? You remember that? Remember how they took a fucking kid who was, wandering around with a ladder and a fucking AK? Just at a rally? Remember that? Like, the CIA still is running shit, people. I don't know how, people don't understand this. And so, this article, this is what they're going to try to do. These are going to be the things. Is people don't understand consent, and rich people get away with everything. It is true, yes. Rich people get away with a lot more than lower income people. Rich people do not get prosecuted for weed charges. That is correct. That is correct. For these very lower laws, it doesn't affect them. Like speeding. Speeding doesn't affect rich people because they just pay the ticket. And it doesn't matter because they have so much money. So in that sense, it's true. But believe me, if Joe Rogan was raping people at the mothership and it came out in a big trial, it would have nothing to do, or the verdict wouldn't come out as not guilty. They lock Joe Rogan up in a second. He might get a better deal because he might get a good lawyer. But the reality is the only way you get off from stuff like this is if the CIA is fucking helping you. It's true. It is what it is. Same thing. Jeffrey Epstein. This is actually what I'm a little confused about, though, is why haven't they killed P. Diddy? Why all these people who he's blackmailed, all this shit that he was fucking and doing whatever. Why haven't they killed him? They killed Epstein. They killed Epstein quick. They got that motherfucker locked up. Locked down. Fucking turned the cameras off in the prison. Choked him out. What's going to happen with Diddy? My guess is they're going to kill him. Or somebody is going to at least try to. This is too public. It's too public, and they already proved it that they can do it and get away with it like they did with Jeffrey Epstein. They already proved that. So my guess is they're probably going to do it real publicly. I'm going to guess that they're going to do it like they did it with Trump, where, you're going to have a guy hiding in a bush somewhere, like a golf course that P. Diddy goes to. Or P. Diddy's going to be in public and, they're just going to tell the cops to, avoid this kid who seems to be on some sort of drugs or medication and let him walk around with a ladder and, get on a sloped roof that is very sloped that police can't go on, but, not so sloped that a person can get set up with a sniper rifle. So, it is what it is. But they are letting Ghislaine Maxwell. Am I saying that right? Ghislaine? Ghislaine Maxwell. They're letting her go. And that's odd. or they're not letting her go, but they're keeping her locked up, which is weird to me because you'd think that she would find a way to, talk or rat or whatever. But no, this idea that P. Diddy was just like doing this on his free will just because, without any help from anybody, is actually hilarious. It's actually hysterical. What else? What else? I'm done with the P. Diddy stuff. We can talk about the big beautiful bill. I got a lot to say about that though, so we'll wait on that for Wednesday. Texas floods. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing Texas floods. We might do that next week. Either way, why don't I talk about me? Can I? Oh, yeah. Let's talk about me. Can I talk about myself for a second? Just let me talk about me for a second, okay? Okay. Thanks. It's my podcast. I want to talk about me. I'm fucking cat sitting for this couple. And I completely forget what it's like having an animal around 24/7. Like, I completely forgot what it was like to just always have, like, this other set of responsibility and also, like, set of love if you get a good pet. Like, if you get, like, a really good pet, it's like a whole love boost. It's something that really keeps you going. But it also drives you up the fucking wall because they'll just do shit. Like, shit will just happen to them where you have to act in the moment. And today I was sitting and I was chilling. I was watching Avatar, by the way. I was watching Avatar, The Last Airbender. Very good. Very, very good show. But I was watching that and I was high. I was very stoned. I was watching Avatar. Great way to start the day. By the way, great way to start the day. I'd gotten drunk last night. I worked 10 hours yesterday. I was exhausted, so I got drunk. And then I woke up, and to wait off the hangover, I got high and drank a Red Bull and watched Avatar before I got started with my day. Great way to start the day, by the way. Great way to start the day. Felt great all day. These faggots like Joe Rogan hop in the sauna. What? Knock it off. Smoke a joint and watch some cartoons. How about that? I'm kidding, by the way. I wouldn't have done that. I just was fucking so exhausted from yesterday. It was actually insane. But nevertheless, I'm sitting there, and this cat that I'm cat sitting walks up to me with a lizard in its mouth. Just a fucking, I don't know where this lizard came from. I don't know if it was in the house. I don't know what happened here. But this fucking cat just has a lizard, right? And I fucking start, like, freaking out because I'm stoned. I'm, like, stoned. And I'm like, hey, let's, drop the lizard. And then I got to get the broom, which I remembered I turned the stick of the broom into a cat toy. So I turned the stick of the broom into the cat toy because, you just tie like a string to the stick of the broom. So I couldn't use the broom. So I just had to use, the little sweep part of the broom. And I'm trying to get this fucking lizard out. And this couple has a fucking cat door to the outside, which means you barely own the cat. That's what I've learned, actually, is that you literally barely own a cat. By the way. Like, if your cat can just leave whenever it wants to leave, you have little to no control over that animal. And don't flatter yourself. It is true, though, that if your cat, like, stays and sticks around, it really likes you. So that is a good part about it, I guess. But so I get this lizard out of the fucking house. And then I get the cat back inside, but the cat just walks through the cat door. And so I go out, I grab the cat like 5 times, bring him back inside, and the lizard won't move. Like, the lizard won't move. Like, so the cat just keeps going back out to where the lizard is, because the lizard just isn't, it's not moving. And on the 5th time I go to pick up the cat, I try to pick up the cat and I try to push the lizard like away from us with the broom, and it just got caught in my sandal. It ran over to my sandal and got caught in it, and I screamed like I screamed like an Israeli screamed looking at a Hamas member with a paraglider on October 7th. That it's yeah, so I just screamed like a little bitch, essentially. And after that I was just like, you know what, man? The cat's all yours. And they have 2 cats, right? So they have an outdoor cat and they have an indoor cat. This was the indoor cat that was going after this fucking lizard. And I've never seen this indoor cat go outside. So when the owners come back, they just might have an outdoor cat. They just might have 2 outdoor cats. I don't know. I didn't mean for it to, become an outdoor cat. That just sort of happened. It just happened, okay? But I didn't want this to happen. It is what it is. Topo Chico. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to break the news to them that, like, hey, actually your indoor cat has a murderous instinct for killing lizards. Like, I don't know how I'm going to break the news to them. Also, it doesn't sound like a real story. Like, hey, I was just watching the Avatar and then a lizard popped in. It just doesn't sound that doesn't sound that believable to me. All right, but that's all the other topics. I'm running out of things to say about this topic. I want to save all the other topics for Wednesday when I talk. I want to talk about the big beautiful bill, the Texas floods. I did want to talk about Iran. I didn't even talk about Along for the Vibes. The big free, if you're in Austin and you're listening, the free pizza night for Along for the Vibe show that I do will be on Friday the 25th at Cold Town Theater at 8 o'clock. That's going to be our next big show. We try to pack that out. And, of course, free pizza, free music, free stand-up comedy, which is awesome. Very, 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 very nice. Yeah, and I just I did want to say this. I forgot to say this about cat sitting. God damn it, is it awkward when you masturbate in front of a cat? I mean, it's just really awkward. Like, you're just sitting there, you got a bust, and then it like is kind of watching you a little bit. Like, it's like watching you, and you're like it's like interested, like it's like kind of turning its head, looking at you while you stroke your shit. It's just weird. And then it's like head pops up as you come. Like, it's like head pops up as it sees like you ejaculate. It's like weird. And then sometimes it comes out next to you and you're like, don't touch my dick. Like, that's like weird. It's like very weird, but also you got to get the nut off. So Yeah, masturbating with a cat is just odd. It's just odd. You know? It's very weird. You almost want to like ask it to leave, but it like doesn't understand what's going on. That's when they're like the most interested in you though. Is when you're masturbating, which is, whatever. All right, guys. But yeah, we got some interesting topics for you back on Wednesday. I'm going to message comedians tonight, so you won't have to hear my voice for at least a couple episodes. We are going to go back to probably the podcast being filmed like way, way, way before it comes out, just because it helps me keep my schedule. But yeah, guys, we are all caught up. These are the episodes for the past 3 weeks, and then we will be right back to normal on Wednesday. All right, thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.